this video, I am spending the next 3 days backpacking in the Grand Canyon in the dead of winter with no shelter. That's right, I am cowboy camping. I'm basically done.
And there is something really cool about waking up in the middle of the night and there like not being anything around you. I was very cold last night.
Now, I'm not just in any part of the Grand Canyon. I'm actually backpacking in the least visited place in the Grand Canyon. Woohoo! Wow! And I'm not doing this alone. I am backpacking with one of my best friends and fellow YouTubers, Eric Hansen, who cannot seem to enter a video frame anything but so slowly. You're like 2 steps to take, and it takes you like 5 seconds. As you all probably know, Eric and I have done a number of videos together. We have become very close friends over the past year or so.
We're delirious from the day on the trail in the desert.
So this should be an incredible adventure into one of the most beautiful and unique places in the entire country. The Grand Canyon is stunningly beautiful, but it is also brutal and very rugged.
It is unforgiving.
We still have so much further to go. It is very hard to comprehend the scale.
Geologists kind of call the Grand Canyon like the storybook of the earth.
Man, the desert is so cool! Oh my gosh! This is fun. I like this. Yay, backpacking.
Yay, backpacking.
Ride 'em, cowboy. Woo!
Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm first. This is my show, gosh darn.
My apple Danish. Oh my goodness. Apple Danish dance. I'm excited about the next few days. Are you ready for this?
Heck yeah.
Woohoo! We doing it.
I have never been backpacking in the Grand Canyon before, but this is kind of your backyard.
It is,
And
yeah.
this is a place that you really love.
I truly adore the Grand Canyon. I love it.
When I decided to cowboy camp, I talked to Eric about it a little bit. This is actually something that people frequently do in the Grand Canyon, but for me, this is kind of a first. Right now, we need to focus on getting down to the canyon floor because we have a fairly long day today and 5,000 feet of elevation to descend before we reach the Colorado River.
This is one of the steepest trails in the canyon.
Oh.
So it's a challenge.
Of course, it wouldn't be a video with Eric Hansen if it wasn't a challenge, right? Woohoo! Cowboy camping is actually super popular in the desert. And if you look online, a ton of people actually recommend cowboy camping in the Grand Canyon. The reason for this is that the temperatures at night tend to be quite mild. And more than that, the skies are clear and the view of the stars should be spectacular. So for me, someone who lives in the Pacific Northwest, really, this is one of the few opportunities that I get to do something like this and sleep without a shelter. If you have cowboy camp before, you might be like, okay, so what? This is no big deal. But for me, there's a little bit of fear involved because as imaginary as it may be, sleeping in a tent to me feels kind of like being in a home. And it feels like a little bit of protection. And tonight and tomorrow night, I won't have any of that protection. Sweet. With that, we still have thousands of feet to descend until we get to the canyon floor and then to camp. So let's get going. I find myself taking such tiny little flat steps in places like this. Well, this is a nice pee spot. I peed and I delayered. Now I'm fast. Don't run, it's not safe. I have a lot of little changes to my gear that I made for this cowboy camping video specifically, but I feel like one of the questions I'm going to get is actually about this right here, which is like in my face as I'm filming. So if you're wondering, yes, this is the bottle that I've been working on designing for such a long time. This is just a sample of the bottle There's only 4 of them that I have. So Eric, you
Yes.
are testing this bottle for me.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
I'm really excited about this. I think it's great. It's got the great form factor, like the hand feel, the sliding it in and out of the pockets. It's
Yeah.
great.
So overall, you like it?
I'm a big fan.
More information to come later. I made this. All right, come on, boys. Jeez, hurry up. Oh wow, look at this moss. Cool moss on a red rock. Is this moss or is this some kind of plant? Is this a fungus? Is this lichen? I like it. I liken it. Lichen on a rock, yeah.
Are you liking those rocks?
Yeah, I'm liking them a lot. Man, we really need to
You
start a
guys
band.
are such a sing-songy couple of people, and I sing more when I'm around you, and I appreciate that.
We appreciate it too.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We do sing a lot of songs. that's
Great
very.
Canyon sing-along.
This is all natural, right?
This is amazingly, this is one of the great wonders of the world, how this was eroded by glaciers
Amazing.
to form these, like, this perfect pathway. Carry on,
That's,
don't question it.
That's sarcasm for anyone who didn't know.
It's very much human made. Mr. Fast. Oh my gosh. Can't possibly just let you get a normal shot.
Your camera's on and it's been rolling for 6
What?
Oh, there's me. Hello, Shadow.
And also Eric's shadow.
Hello.
We just made it through our first geological layer of the canyon.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the big white cap that's on the top of the Grand Canyon is all limestone. And we are literally at the junction, like right there. That's a great example of like where you have the limestone and then the sandstone meet directly. Like millions of years of geological layering meeting right in 1 foot of earth at underfoot.
That's awesome.
So at one point, this was all under a seabed. We were basically underwater, and then it's been lifting up, and the river has been eroding down, and then kind of creating this. As it erodes, the river erodes down, the canyon is lifting up, and that's why this canyon is so much bigger and deeper than just about any other canyon in the world. I think there's like 11 layers from top to bottom, from the top of the
Whoa.
Grand Canyon to what we'll see at the very bottom, including what I'm hoping we'll get to see is Vishnu schist, which is 2 billion year old rock. It's literally some of the oldest rock on the planet, and only in the Grand Canyon is it actually exposed.
Whoa.
So, pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Normally the only way to experience Vishnu schist is like mining or just like drilling holes. But here, it's out in the open.
And when you talk about 11 different layers of the canyon, you're talking about geological layers.
Geological layers.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. Not like cake layers.
They are also made of cake.
They're all made of cake.
Yeah.
In case you were confused. 1 down,
Yep.
10 to go.
Looks like we're almost to our spring, I think. We just hit a junction in our trail. The trail that we have taken down from the rim splits here, and we are headed to the right on the Hermit Trail. But in 2 days, we're coming back out from this left trail here, the Boucher. Boucher?
Boucher.
Boucher.
The
Butcher.
R is silent.
The Butcher Trail.
The Butcher Trail.
Oh, Merca.
You really butchered that one.
I really. Let's get moving. Dropping down, dropping elevation, and dropping farts. Wow. Y'all have got to see this view. We just came around this bend where we had these massive boulders that were kind of blocking our view. And once we cleared that, this just popped into view. Across the canyon here, you can see where that fin juts out and then kind of fans out at the bottom. There's all of this, what looks to be like greenery or foliage or something over there. And it really is just so different than what we're seeing here and so different than what we saw at the top. I feel like this view is really giving me an opportunity to see how many different ecological zones we're going through as we descend the canyon. And it's incredible. This is totally different than anything we get in the Pacific Northwest. It's stunning. Hey, do you know what that is?
That's a rest house.
A rest house.
In the summertime,
Yeah.
you're incredibly exposed.
Right.
So there's no shade for miles and miles. And that's one of the few places on this trail that has a shade opportunity. And I think that's where the spring is. There's a couple of them on these big trails. We're in the winter, so even if we were in direct sun, not so bad.
Yeah.
If you think about like in the summertime when it's 110 out here and there's just no shade or no breaks from the sun, a place like that might save your life.
Yeah. Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
This place is so unique. It's no wonder it's so popular. Oh, I love it.
Look at that. The spring.
Whoa! There's ice on the rock. Like
Ice
a
in the
lot.
Grand Canyon. Yes, winter in fact does happen in Arizona.
This is so cool. The little hut. It's awesome. This is our little rest hut that we saw from way over on the other side of the canyon. The best part was that out here, we actually have this spring. This is a trough that they put here, but it is totally frozen solid. But there's a little spout right here, so I actually just popped my reservoir onto here so that it could fill it with water. And then I can just filter right from here. So there's a little trickle, but it is cold enough that this entire trough of water is just frozen solid. All right, I'm gonna take a short little break in the rest house, get a snack, and then continue our descent into the canyon. Do you wanna see the rest hut? Get on in here. Welcome to the hut. So we have this beautiful branch here. We have Eric hiding in the background.
I was gonna sit in the rest bit.
It is actually called the rest bit bench.
Yeah, you rest your bits on the bench.
Yeah, you do. You rest them. Canyon water. Was that sexy? That felt kind of sexy.
Did it?
We have picked up the pace a little bit because we still have about 6.5 miles to go until we get to camp for the night, and it's already noon. Even though we're going down, it's still pretty hard hiking. We're gonna try and pick up the pace, move a little faster, and hopefully get to camp still with enough light to get set up. 6 miles, and we get to camp. Look, it's like gemstones in this kind of pillar. I think that's considered part of a geode? Let me know if you know, because it is so cool. Kind of looks like a big shiny turd. All right, gotta catch up with the guys.
This drainage that's straight in front of us
Yeah?
is Hermit Creek,
Oh, cool.
and you can even just see the littlest bit of river.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Colorado River.
Wow, we still have so far to go.
We still have really far to go.
And there's like so much stuff I want to stop and appreciate. We have been hiking in and out of the sunshine for most of the afternoon. And the temperature difference between when we are in the shade of the canyon and when we are in the direct sun is wild. It's gotta be like at least a 10-degree difference. And that is making me a little bit nervous about tonight because I'm definitely hyper aware of how much colder it is when it is shady and also when it is windy. Now, I did bring some wind protection. I also brought an emergency shelter that I'll show you a little bit when we get to camp. Hopefully, once we get down to the canyon floor, it'll warm up a little bit because we are descending. And it'll also hopefully not be super windy tonight, but I don't know. Just a lot of little things are starting to creep into my brain as we continue this hike today. Whenever I'm doing something new on a backpacking trip, whether it's trying a new type of backpacking or a new piece of gear, I always have at least one moment on the first day where I get a little bit anxious. And right now I'm definitely feeling that. It's been so cool to hike in the Grand Canyon with this gorgeous view all day. So yeah, grounding myself in that a little bit, even as I have some concerns about tonight. Onward and downward. Taking breaks as needed, but also trying to move quickly and safely.
We do have to be aware of time, but I feel confident we will at some point arrive. Aren't you reassured?
I'm so reassured.
Yeah.
We will eventually get there. You know what I do really like about the desert? All these desert plants. They all look like they're celebrating because they're always like, woo!
That's an interesting take, and it shows your optimism. Because when I look at desert plants, I see, stay back.
Aha!
I like the way you see the world.
Woo! It is very hard to comprehend the scale. Is that where we're going?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Hermit Creek. And go down there to the river. This is supposedly like quite a nice little side canyon. Apparently it's lovely.
Neat. Flaky rocks! I found flaky rocks. They're the best. So Eric told me they're uranium. They're not.
There is uranium in the Grand Canyon. It's just not this stuff. This is known as the Southwestern Flakeatus rockeosus.
Party cactus. Listen, at this point, I just want to poop, guys. My biggest obstacle right now is the fact that I haven't pooped today. I'm hoping that like maybe I'll eat some chili mac for dinner and that'll do it. All right. This sign here marks the turnoff towards our campsite for the night. This trail is actually going to take us down to the Colorado River, and Hermit Rapids is the name of the rapids section, which is right by where we're going to be camping. It has been this amazing, gorgeous day for hiking. It's been really hot at certain times, but mostly been pretty mild in the shade. But as we get later and later in the day, it is starting to get colder and colder. So once we get to camp, I'm really excited to kind of assess and see what it's really gonna be like to sleep totally under the stars with no shelter. We'll see. All right, 1 mile to go and then we're at camp. Down, down, baby, hoochie and a manie. Ooh, an obstacle.
Yeah, this might challenge your short legs. I mean your legs of...
No, that's fair. I have pretty short legs, it's okay. All right, come on, step
I want
up.
to see this happen.
Zoom, zoom. Goodbye. Oh, not again. I farted. It's just building up. Wow. Beautiful. This is awesome. This is amazing. So cool. This is beautiful. This creek running through here is gorgeous. It's been so quiet all day, and I think I only became aware of that because this creek is so loud. Like right here, it feels so energetic because we have this loud creek flowing next to us, and there's water and there's life, and there's just something about this spot that feels very revitalizing, and it's really awesome. Okay, whew, amazing. Woo! I did get stabbed by a cactus. I got stabbed by a pokey piece of cactus. Is that that is the Colorado River. Oh my gosh! Woohoo! Which means we're almost to camp. Woo! And boy howdy am I ready. Let's go. Woo! Ah! I'm stuck.
The shirt is done for.
That's all right. Thank you. Yoink. I really walked right into a pokey thing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, listen, I know you love me. I love you too, tree. Let go.
I got places to
All
go.
right. Okay, we just came up over this little rock. To my left, you can hear the sound of the rapids, but straight ahead of me is our campsite and also a gorgeous view of the Colorado River. Oh, beautiful.
This is so lovely.
Oh, Eric, I'm so glad we came down here.
Hey, good job today.
Good job, you.
That was a big day. That was a
Good
big
job,
day.
Rainer.
Yeah.
Woo.
Bam. Bam. Yeah.
All right.
Wait, can we get one where we all
Oh,
three
here
of
we
us?
go. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Miranda
Ah!
All right, let's do it.
Miranda,
Yeah.
there's something important I need to tell you
Okay.
about a very unique aspect of camping in a place like this.
Okay.
Where would you think you'd go pee?
Oh, okay, so my thought would be that I should go pee on the rocks because ideally you. No.
Nay. That's what's unique about this spot. You pee in the river.
No.
You pee right into the
Are
river.
you serious?
Yep, that's like literally it's on our permits. It's like National Park Service says pee in the river.
Oh my gosh, I just got really excited about that. I
Yeah.
can't wait to pee in the river.
Yeah?
Okay, why?
Okay. Well, it's because it's so dry out here and
Yes.
how little it rains. If people just peed on the rocks, everything out here would just smell like urine.
Oh.
And the solution to pollution is dilution. And there's just a ton of volume in the river, so you can just pee and it will. Don't poop in the river. We don't want to see any canoes paddling downstream.
Woo! First thing I have is this Tyvek ground sheet that I actually am borrowing from Eric. So this is just gonna go down on the sand as like an extra layer of protection between me, my sleeping pads, and the ground. This is probably less of a concern because this ground is so soft here than it would be in a place where it was like really pokey, but it's still really helpful to have. This one Eric got on Amazon, but you can get these from all sorts of different companies. It is super handy as a ground cloth. All right, so ground sheet. Next up, closed cell phone pad.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. There's a really, even better, bigger site.
Oh my gosh.
Look at all the room for activities.
Okay. Yeah, we're moving. Oh yeah. Take two. Okay, where was I? Tyvek ground sheet, closed cell foam sleeping pad. The next thing that goes down is my insulated inflatable sleeping pad, which is my Nemo Tensor Extreme. Just find my sleeping pad. Where is it? Ta-da! I did bring with me a shelter just in case of an emergency. So the shelter that I packed is the Hexamid Pocket Tarp, which is a super lightweight shelter. But if you are cowboy camping and you decide you want to bring like, I don't know, a tarp with you or some extra piece of waterproof material or something that can protect you in the rain, I think that's a really smart idea. When I was researching cowboy camping, what I found is that most people will plan on having some kind of backup shelter with them, regardless of whether or not they plan on using it. So, something to keep in mind. Shelter is one of your 10 essentials, so even though I'm not going to use this Hexamid Pocket Tarp, I brought it with me just in case. Perfect. I'm basically done. All I need is my sleeping bag. This is the Thermarest Boost 20-degree sleeping bag. It's very new. It's really unique for a lot of reasons, but I think I'm probably gonna wait to talk about it a little bit until tomorrow morning because it's starting to get dark, I'm starting to get hungry, and I'm ready to eat some food. So I'm gonna check this sleeping bag down. Boom. And now my camp is set up.
Doing it. Sleeping out tonight.
Woo.
I want to stargaze.
Weirdly, I feel safer knowing that you're gonna do it too. Yeah, because like I feel like if I'm gonna be like attacked by scorpions, you might also be.
Well, you see, I feel better about it because you're doing it.
Oh.
And scorpions like more feminine energy.
Oh, perfect. Great. So scorpions are sexist.
Creamy Tuscan chicken. I've got a belly full of warm food right now.
Ooh.
And by belly full of warm food, I mean I haven't eaten it yet. It's just sitting right here in my belly.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
For dinner tonight, I'm having jambalaya from Pinnacle Food. We're gonna let it sit for 8 minutes.
Also, the stars are really starting to come out nicely.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice night for cowboy camping.
Yeah.
Woo!
I am finally cozy in my sleeping bag, getting ready to go to sleep. We had dinner and just kind of all sat around and talked about the day and had a chance to be really comfortable at our camp and enjoy the beautiful sounds of the Colorado River. It got dark right after we got to camp, so we did get set up pretty quickly, and it also got really cold once it got dark. So we have climbed into our sleeping bags and tents rather early. It's about 8:30, and I am hoping to get a really long, restful night of sleep because tomorrow we have another beautiful but rather difficult day of hiking. Okay. You really can't see it in the camera, but the stars are absolutely beautiful tonight. I'm really looking forward to spending a night out open under the stars, no tent, no shelter, just the gorgeous sky above. Wow, I'm feeling a little sappy down here. All right, I'll check in with all of you in the morning, but now I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. Good morning.
Morning. How'd you do?
Pretty good. How about you?
Got a little chilly. Yeah, I think the temperature was just a little cold for this bag. I did like looking at the stars though.
I slept pretty well. It was a little bit cold last night. The desert cold is something different, but I mostly just loved waking up in the middle of the night and like being able to see the stars immediately. And there is something really cool about waking up in the middle of the night and there like not being anything around you. So being able to like open my eyes and see the plants and see the river. So that part was really awesome. I was a little bit chilly. It was mostly my butt and my legs. And I wound up taking my closed cell foam sleeping pad and wrapping it around my legs. I have no idea if that's supposed to make a difference. I didn't read anywhere that that's something you do. No one's ever told me to do that. But it really made a lot of a difference. It kept my legs and my butt really warm. This sleeping bag is also really cozy and cool, and so often I would like wake up in the middle of the night and I would need to grab something or adjust something, and it has these holes in the side. You can unzip, stick your arm out. So I would have this, like this, and then I could be like, where's my water? And they're like, get it. I'm very ready for coffee. I have to pee, and I am ready for another day of hiking.
This is good coffee.
Oh, that is really good. Okay, time for biscuits and gravy. I brought a special breakfast with me. I am making instant gravy from McCormick, and I brought these biscuits that I made at home with me as well. They're kind of like 5 days old, and they've been through 3 different states.
Solid, gas, and liquid. Okay.
So I'm just going to make my instant gravy. It's pretty high calorie. One of these biscuits is like 300 calories. I'm gonna have 1.5. Oh, great. I'm probably gonna put something more exciting in here, like some sausage crumbles or some vegetables, but I didn't. It's still pretty good. All right, time for breakfast.
Miranda is doing the DIY homemade version, but I'm doing the Pinnacle Foods jalapeno cheddar biscuits and herb sausage gravy, which is probably my favorite breakfast meal out there for just ready-made backpacking meals.
And after making this, I would honestly say that, yeah, I would also take that one.
I thought you were gonna go the other way. I would honestly say this. Yeah, this is worse. Yeah.
Overall, I feel like my night of cowboy camping last night wound up being a lot easier and a lot just more comfortable than I expected. And some of those fears that I had around my comfort didn't really sneak in. I wasn't as worried about things like scorpions or rodents or rattlesnakes as I kind of expected myself to be. But part of that, I believe, is because I was just so exhausted. We have hiked along our trail back towards the junction about a half mile or 3/4 of a mile or so. And now we are headed up there. And pretty soon we're going to take a little side path that's going to take us on our main trail to camp tonight. Also, we are headed towards the bathroom, which is great because I have to poop. I have not pooped in like 2 days. Man, the desert really makes your bowels just dry up. This is weird content. Don't put this in the video. Nobody wants to know about this stuff. We have about 6.5 miles until we get to camp, but we're going to hit the Boucher Creek in about 5 miles or so, and then we have another little drainage that'll take us to camp tonight. Most of our trail today is going to be kind of high like this, up on the shelves, so it'll be very different than yesterday, and it should be an awesome opportunity to get these views down into the canyon without focusing so much on my feet and like staring as I step down. I always thought that hiking downhill was a lot easier than hiking uphill, but after yesterday, I kind of disagree. My thighs and my knees are really sore from all of the descent yesterday. So yeah. Eric warned me. Eric was like, it'll get you, you'll be surprised, and he was definitely right. But luckily, I feel like I slept well, and I feel pretty well rested, and most of the day today is just kind of rolling or flat with a slight descent at the end, so it's not the same like 5,000 feet down as we did yesterday. Now, with that, it is already noon, and we still have many miles to do, so let's go. Day 2 in the Grand Canyon. You see that? Woo woo! Our trail so far today is very, very different than anything we did yesterday. Right now, it's basically just like a meandering walk through a bunch of cactuses. And it's beautiful, really different, much less physically demanding than the brutal downhill we did yesterday. But still just as gorgeous. There's Rainer back there. And there's Eric up there. Yeah, what are those? Eric, do you know what this plant is?
Known.
unofficially as the century plant,
Oh,
more officially the agave. Every about 100 years, hence the century plant, this one stalk will come up and it will flower, and then it's like its seeds essentially, and then it'll die. So it'll spend about 100-year life cycle growing without the stalk,
Oh my
just being
gosh.
this like super spiky, cool plant. And then near the end of its life, send up this big stalk that looks great, really cool,
yeah.
flower, fall over and die.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Man, the desert is so cool. Why do my feet feel like they're on fire? Ooh, lunch.
You got me interested in those nerd clusters.
Dude, just try one. They're not good,
Okay.
but they're like really good. Do you know what I mean?
Ah.
You're gonna put it in your mouth and you're like, that. Then you're gonna be like, oh. You know? It'll grow on you.
Huh. Huh.
Wait.
Ah.
Right?
Mm.
Right? And then you're like, ooh, okay.
Ah. There's like a rock fall.
Whoa!
You can see like the big white line. That's what we hiked across.
Oh, you're right. What we're looking at is this white streak down the cliff face from the top of the Grand Canyon. And we just realized that is that section that we hiked through yesterday. And it's really interesting to be able to see it from here because we can just see how far it came down. Like when we were hiking through this red section, like this red layer, we all of a sudden saw these big white rocks. We knew it was from high up, but now we can really see how high up it's from. Very cool. Woo!
All right,
Vámonos.
shall we?
Yes. I want a shot of that river flowing through the canyon, river flowing through the canyon. There is a river and it's flowing through. It is the Colorado River, but we're not in Colorado, we're in Arizona. It might be confusing, but it's not. River.com. Look at these spiky buds! Hello. Ah! Okay, sorry, no touching. I want to pet you, but I can't, because you have boundaries. We reached the top of a ridge and took a second to look at our maps. And it turns out that we have about 3 miles left until we get to camp and only about 2.5 hours until the sun sets, which means that we are a little bit behind in terms of our schedule. So now we are headed down towards our camp and we are trying to book it. We got in a little late for my taste last night to camp, so we're trying to get in a little bit earlier. At this rate, it's feeling like we're probably gonna be arriving right around sunset. So we'll see what we can do. From here on out, it's just a descent down to camp, and we're moving as fast as we can safely. All right, sign to slow down. Okay, here we go.
I just want to scramble down there and go look at the edge and just go stand at the top of an 800-foot cliff and be like, wow, and maybe pee off of it.
Pee off of it. Now that sounds cool. I feel like I could definitely pee off of an 800-foot cliff. For sure.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like see a cliff and be like, I want to stand at the edge of it.
Interesting. You and I, we may never see eye to eye.
Well, it's true. You're like a foot taller than I am. So. Wait, purple rock.
Purple rock.
Look at this. Oh, what is it?
Yes, this is purpless rock. I don't know.
Cool. All right, water break.
Water break.
Continue. You too, boss man. Water break for you too. Cheers.
Cheers!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's our trail, winding down.
The trail.
We are now about a quarter mile or so from camp, and the hike down has actually been really hard. It's been a little bit of a bushwhack, and then a lot of like navigating through this drainage.
That was so stupid.
This is something that is really unique, I think, in canyons and in the desert. It's like having to sort of make your own trail through these canyons and these creek beds.
I regret everything I've ever done.
And for me, it's still a little bit challenging, both like mentally and also physically, because it's just nothing but rock underfoot and just bushwhacking through and stepping over huge stones. And all of that to say, I'm very excited to get to camp because it has been a haul and I'm ready to be done. From what I can gather, that's just kind of the nature of the Grand Canyon. Eric was sort of like, yeah, that's the Grand Canyon way. Like, oh yeah, your thighs and your calves hurt from the steps, that's the Grand Canyon. You know, oh, you got stabbed by a cactus, that's the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is stunningly beautiful, but it is also brutal and very rugged. I think because of its popularity and because of how many people visit here, it can be easy to forget that. But being down here in the canyon, it just becomes very obvious that this is still an incredibly wild place. And the elements are harsh. Okay, we have about a quarter mile to get to camp and less than an hour of daylight left. So let's do it. Woohoo! Oh, oh my feet. Oh my gosh. This is a ram carcass, I think. It's probably quite old, but because the desert's so dry, it just hasn't decomposed completely. Grand Canyon is brutal. It's not a joke. Rest in peace, bud. You hear that? That's the Colorado River. We are so close. There it is. So we found the river. Now we just need to find Eric. Eric hiked ahead of us. Eric! Oh, I'm ready to be done. There he is. Hey! Let's ditch packs. I gotta get some water.
Yeah.
We can go explore a little bit.
Cool.
Cool. We did it.
Woo!
Woo. So, of my 2 water bottles, this one is my LMNT bottle. So I've been adding my electrolytes to this one. On this hike down yesterday, I found myself cramping really, really hard and just starting to get really fatigued. And then it was like a light bulb went off for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, I haven't had any electrolytes today. So I added some LMNT electrolytes to my water and it made a huge difference. If you don't know by now, LMNT is an electrolyte drink mix that is far and away my favorite electrolyte mix. And I have been talking about this stuff for literally years. I adore LMNT. And as someone who is super prone to muscle cramps and fatigue, but also really bad migraines when I'm hiking, LMNT electrolytes has just been absolutely crucial for me. Pretty much everyone that I introduce this stuff to falls in love with it. So if you also want to try it, you can actually go to the link below, which is drinklmnt.com/Miranda Goes Outside. And if you place an order, you'll get a sample pack of 8 of LMNT's most popular flavors. The one that I am using now is the grapefruit salt, which is, I think, probably my all-time favorite. It's really, really delicious. Bring me back to life, LMNT. All right, let's do this. Oh yeah, oh, perfect. This is a great camp.
Nice.
Welcome to camp. All right, boys, stake your claim. We finally made it to camp. I am very tired and very hungry. I put down my ground sheet, I put down my closed-cell foam pad, but I'm actually gonna wait to inflate my sleeping pad until kind of like a little bit before I'm getting ready to go to sleep. We got here kind of right at sunset. It was quite dark and quite cold here at our campsite, but very lovely. We have a gorgeous view of the Colorado River and some more rapids today. The hike down into this campsite was certainly harder than yesterday's, mostly because it's not very frequently traveled and this campsite is probably not heavily used at all. But we're here now and it is gorgeous. Definitely camping along the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon is a really unique experience. Gonna get some food, I'm gonna kind of relax and enjoy this gorgeous sunset in the Grand Canyon. Oh, oh, great.
Woohoo!
Flames.
And the flames went higher.
And it burns, burns, burns.
The pot of fire.
The pot's on fire.
Yeah!
Yeah! I am eating Harvest green curry from Farm to Summit. Green curry with a base of coconut and roasted winter squash, packed with our farm favorite veggies and jasmine rice.
I feel a little bit like I'm forcing myself to eat food right now. I'm so tired. I really just want to go to sleep. Eric and I were sitting here cooking and eating, and there was a moment when all of a sudden the temperature dropped and it got really cold. So Eric's getting his base layers on. I wrap myself up in my liner for my sleeping bag. But I think pretty much we're hitting the time where I'm gonna inflate my sleeping pad, throw my sleeping bag down, and kind of start thinking about going to bed. This camp is really wonderful and beautiful. And I think the stars are even more visible tonight than they were last night. That's even possible. Right now, I'm actually really looking forward to spending the night just totally open under the stars. I think last night I was a little nervous about it, but now I'm feeling really excited. Eric has abandoned me. He is sleeping in his tent, as is Rainer, but I will be sleeping out in the open. My body is very tired. I am mentally exhausted, and I'm feeling a bit nervous about the climb out tomorrow. Climb out tomorrow is 9.5 miles, 5,000 feet of elevation gain. Right, Eric?
That's correct.
9.5 miles, 5,000 feet of elevation gain. Not easy. And the sun sets at like 6 p.m. So
Yeah.
it's not like we have a really long day. 5,000 feet of gain in 9.5 miles is not a ton, but most of that gain is going to be right as we are getting towards that like last shelf of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, it's a very steep exit. This is the farthest point we are at in the whole trip. So everything from here on out is turning back.
It's true. We're the closest we've ever been to being done. Okay, I'm done. I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. I do believe it is time to get some sleep. Wake up bright and early tomorrow. Hike out of here.
I still want to eat some honey mustard pretzels.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, of course. Here you go.
Oh, you have them.
So I am cozy in my sleeping bag, getting ready to go to sleep. It is definitely warmer tonight than it was last night, at least for now. And that is wonderful. I don't feel nearly as cold. The stars are absolutely beautiful. right now I'm really appreciating the fact that I don't have any kind of tent or rainfly or shelter above me or even mesh. Just getting to enjoy these beautiful stars. Normally when I'm backpacking, I'll climb into my tent, I'll have my rainfly on, and then I'll like read my book on my phone or something. But because I just have this gorgeous view above me, I'm finding that I'm just kind of staring at that and appreciating that instead. All right, I'm gonna get some sleep. We have a pretty big day ahead of us tomorrow and a huge climb out of here. I know, at least for me, when I think about the Grand Canyon, the thing that I think about the most is just how hard it is to come back out after going down. It's basically a reverse mountain. So, knowing that we have a really hard day tomorrow, I'm gonna get some sleep and I'll talk to all of you in the morning. Good night.
Good morning. I was very cold last night, mostly just from the wind. Unfortunately, Rainer's sleeping pad sprung a hole, so I actually lent him my closed-cell foam pad last night. So I didn't have that wind protection. And last night I was very aware of how much, like what a difference a tent makes, you know, like protecting you from the wind. Because I would be like really warm and cozy and comfortable, and then a breeze would come off the water and like my face would be cold, my legs would be cold, I'd be like brrr. At one point last night I actually considered opening up my tarp, like wrapping my tarp around myself, but I didn't. I just kind of endured. So I'm really glad that I cowboy camped last night and tonight, because I feel like the experience was really cool, you know, and I really want to do it again. But now I'm even more curious how people deal with things like the wind. It's about 7 a.m. right now, and we're getting packed up fairly quickly so that we can get some breakfast and then hopefully start hiking out of here in about an hour. Right now we are at the level of the Colorado River, which is the base of the Grand Canyon. We have to hike all the way back up to the rim. Okay. Oh. There is sand in my biscuit.
Which biscuit? Sorry.
It's been good.
Okay.
We had a very quick morning at camp, but before we start our climb back out through the side canyon, there's one more really cool thing that Eric wants to show me. I'm excited. I'm gonna ditch my pack and follow Eric so we can go see this cool surprise. Okay, be back. Let's go.
Let's go this way. But what I'm about to show you is actually really rare. This is the bedrock of the earth. This is Vishnu schist, 2.2 billion year old rock.
What?
Here in the Grand Canyon is the only place on Earth where rock this old is exposed naturally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Feel it. It's beautiful. It's got these like fluted little like polish from the river. It's like this jet black material.
It feels incredible.
Yeah, the touch of it is unlike any other rock I've ever felt.
It's incredibly smooth and it's very cold.
Yeah.
It's like cold in a different way than
Yeah.
just picking up a normal rock. It is really amazing. That is so cool.
To think about how old 2.2 billion years is, that's like half the age of the Earth. This rock has been here, basically waiting to be exposed by the river.
unbelievable.
Yeah. So this is just a small example of it. All along the river in certain stretches, it just pops up, and it's like, it's so cool to see. 2.2 billion years old.
It's just amazing to think about what this rock has witnessed.
So geologists kind of call the Grand Canyon like the storybook of the Earth. And it's an open book, which is really rare. Like most places, it's all just buried. We have no access to it. But here we have access to literally back billions of years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating. Yeah, this is beautiful. It does, I think, really make me appreciate all of the different layers of the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
you know, as you're coming down.
Yep.
And I think that type of appreciation for me is one of the things I love most about backpacking. Where it's not just like, I'm gonna hike and I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna set up camp and I'm gonna like suffer and I'm doing it. You know, it's like you get this opportunity to really immerse yourself in the place.
Yep.
And yeah, I love the fact that I'm so anxious about today's hike out and the time it's going to take to get to the top, you know? And meanwhile, it's like I'm thinking, oh my gosh, 9 hours of daylight, like we have to hurry up, we have to go 9 hours, like that's not, oh gosh, we have to hurry. And here's this 2.1 billion year old rock. It's like
It's seen some things.
yeah, right, really puts some perspective. It's like, oh, you're worried about
Oh,
what?
you're worried.
Okay. All right, well, with that, we do
should
still,
go.
we still have a big climb, so we should go.
Yep. Thanks for nerding out with me. I love
Gosh.
seeing this stuff and sharing it with people.
So much. This is amazing. So cool. Goodbye, Vishnu Schist. You're the schist. Man, I'm so glad we took the time to look at that. Out we go. Goodbye, Colorado River. Excuse me. This is our turn. This is our turn for our new trail. So now we're heading out. Whew. For snacks, we have peanut butter filled pretzels and wasabi soy almonds. Both Eric Hansen recommended snacks. All right, so we are 4.5 miles from our junction with the Hermit Trail, with the Dripping Springs Trail,
Okay.
and then to the Hermit Trail.
Yeah.
So we're 4.5 miles from there.
That should be like 6 miles to the car.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Let's do it. We've been hiking along this narrow little section of trail for about a half mile now. Even though the trail itself is about half the width of a sidewalk, it's right on the edge of the canyon. So there have been a few times my pole will kind of go over the side and knock rocks down. And it's a little scary. It's definitely very different than what I'm used to. You can see the trail extending behind me. We've already come up a good distance. We still have so much further to go. Also, I really have to poop, and that is like not a good feeling right now because where do you even go? All right, time to catch up with Eric. try not to fall off a cliff. F***ing hell. Pinyon tree! After miles of rock scrambling and hiking on really exposed sections of trail, we have finally reached a flat section that is much more open, and it feels so nice. We gave ourselves about 9 hours of daylight to hike the 9.5 miles from camp back to the trailhead, and that felt like more than enough time. But because of some of these areas where we were moving really slowly due to these sketchy, like hard scrambles, we're actually kind of pushing it on time. So we're trying to book it through this flatter section. As you can see, the sun is blazing behind me, but because it's been so cold down in these canyons, it actually feels really good. Okay, we're gonna try and book it through this flat part of the trail and hopefully make it back while we still have some daylight. Whew. I'm actually a little nervous about it, to be honest, but I think we're gonna be okay. Eric Hansen cookie break. Eric Hansen eating cookies. Oh gosh, it's like if you just put some like Wild West music behind this, it would just be like, it would look like a Marlboro commercial or something. Nailed it. And there's my shadow. There's Rainer. Looking sexy. All right, yeah, I'm doing it. Let's fucking go, dogs. Ride 'em, cowboy. I think I can smell my wag bag. It's grossing me out. I'm not sure.
It could be
It's my body. So we have reached the junction for the Hermit Trail, which is the trail that's going to take us back out of the canyon. It is 4:40 right now, with only an hour and a half of daylight left and 1.7 miles from here to the trailhead. I am guessing that it will at least be getting dark by the time we get to the car. So I'm gonna get my headlamp out. Yeah, I know that I need some water and to put some mittens on. My hands are really cold. And I also might need some more blister pads. I got another sucker foreman. We're gonna give the people free foot picks.
There are.
Oh yeah, that's saucy. Oh yeah, that one is ripe. This foot is the heavily blistered one. I'm convinced it's because I peed on it twice. I didn't try to do it. I don't have great aim. 1.75 miles. We can do that. Final climb. Woo. You can see behind me, the sun just set, but it's okay, so we're getting really close to the top. You just have to get up there. Almost done. Whew. Whoa! Oh my gosh, an incredible sunset happening right now. Oh, I see. So we timed our exit perfectly to get to see a sunset.
Oh, that's how it should
How
work.
perfect!
Yeah, all right.
Wow. Woo! Heck yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like this. Yay,
Yeah.
backpacking.
Yay, backpacking. We're so close.
Oh man. Woo-hoo. I get it. Nice job. Woo.
Nice job, you.
Dude, I gotta say, I did not expect us to be battling daylight hours so much on this trip.
We really had to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like part of backpacking in the winter, right? Regardless of where you are.
The days are still short.
The days are short.
The mornings are cold, and it's hard to get a really early start.
Yes. Now, as far as cowboy camping goes, I am really grateful that I did that.
Yeah.
And spending a night like totally open, under the stars, completely unhindered view, in just the beautiful expanse of the Grand Canyon sky. I mean, that was amazing. I'm really appreciative of that. But I'm also really appreciative of my tent now. Like, I was thinking about that coming up here.
Yeah.
But
I got to give you credit because I did it for one night and then I was like, I want my tent.
It was cold.
Yeah.
As you all can probably tell, it is very dark. So we are gonna chuck our packs in the car and get out of here. Huge thank you, Eric, for bringing us out in the Grand Canyon.
Absolutely, it was an honor.
This was amazing.
Yeah.
And if you want to see Eric's video, you can go to his channel and make sure you subscribe. Eric does a ton of awesome backpacking content. And as always, if you liked this video from me, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And I will see all of you outside. Bye.
See you later.
Wait, hold on a second, guys. High five.
Miranda sandwich.
Nicely done.
I should probably poop soon.